so it is a sigma x square, right? So these are expectation we have seen here, and also we have seen the mean square value, that is expected value of the x square here. We have seen the mean square value, and also some of the functions we have seen, such as the exponential function we have seen. We have seen the Gaussian random variables we have seen, and also we have seen the something characteristic functions, and many more functions we have seen in the module 1 here. Okay, so that is for the single random variable. We have seen for the CD of PD of mean, variance, that is exponential random variable, Gaussian random variable, characteristic function. Many more concepts you have seen in the module 1 here. So similarly in the module 2, okay, so module 2, what the same concepts we have repeated for the, so here we have considered the one random variable we are considered here, single random variable we are considered, and here we are considered with the two random variables we are considered here, two random variables. So for that one, we have seen the CDF we have seen, that is called as fx of x1 comma x2 of x1 comma x2 we have seen, and also we have seen the bivariate PDF we have seen, that is called fx1 x2 of x1 and x2 we have seen that one here, and also we have seen the some statistical independence we have seen, how it will be independent here, and we have seen the expectation, that is the correlation of that one we have seen, that is called x1 and x2, and also from this one we can able to obtain the marginal PDFs, right? So marginal PDFs we can able to obtain from the two random variables we can able to obtain, that is fx comma y, we can able to obtain that one. So we have seen the correlation we have seen, and we have seen the covariance of the random variable called x and y we have seen here, and we have defined the correlation coefficient. And for the normalized Gaussian random variable, we had seen the mean of that one, everything we have seen, mean, variance, all those things, and we have seen the some independent characteristics and many more concepts we have seen in the module 2 we have seen that one here. Okay, so that is in the module 2. This is for the two random variables we have considered here, two random variables we have considered. So in case of the module 2, that is CDF PDF everything here. So here the main thing we have seen is, so we have seen the random variables we have seen here, random variables which is nothing but x here. For example, fx of x you are going to see in here. So these are random variable we are seeing here, right? So random variable is nothing but it's a process of assigning the some real number to the outcome of the experiment. You are going to call it as a random variable you are going to call. And with respect to that one, we have seen the many parameters we have seen for the single random variable and the two random variables we have seen that one here. So right, these are the concepts we are seeing in the from module 1 and 2. So any doubts with this concept here? Any doubts with these of the concepts? Okay, so what we have defined, we extended here. What we defined, we extended for the two random variables. So similar way, we extended for the many random variables we have extended here, right? Now, what you're going to see in the random process is, so here it is called as a random variable we are called here. Now you're going to call it as a random process here. So random process is nothing but, so here random variable is a just it's a x is there here. So I'm going to define the random process in which it is a function of some time t I'm going to consider here. It's a function of some time t. So that one we can call it as a random process. We can call it here random process. So random process is nothing but the random variable x is a function of t. For example, I'm going to observe certain waveform, something like this. Okay, so at particular time interval t is equal to t1, we have a certain value. I'm going to call that as a random process. At t is equal to t1, we are going to call here. So similar t is equal to t2, there is a certain variable you are going to get, that is called as the x of t2 you are going to call. So this is a random process we are going to call here. So random process is nothing but it is a function of time t. You are going to call it as a random process here. So it is a time varying factor, time varying function, and we are going to assign the some real number to the outcome of the experiment here. So here it is also we are going to assign the real number to the outcome of the experiment. Here also we are going to assign, the only difference between these two is it's a time varying component here. It is a time varying component where we are going to assign the some real number to the outcome of the experiment. That one you are going to call it as a random process you are going to call here. That's it, nothing else here. Getting the concept right? So random process is nothing but, so it's a time varying function of a some outcome of the experiment is there. So for that one, we are going to assign the real number. That one you are going to call it as a random process we are going to call. So it's a function of time t we are going to consider. That's why I'm going to denote as a x of t I'm going to define. Suppose if at the time interval t is equal to t1, I'm going to measure this one. I can call this as x of t1, one random process. At t is equal to t2, I'm going to measure the value. It is called as x of t2. So for this one, we can find out the mean, variance, and also the PDF we can define. So let us see those concepts in the random process, that is in the module 3 here. Okay, so so what are the concepts you are seeing? That is the CDF, PDF, mean, variance, and for the two random variables. Okay, so this is a function of fx of x only is there here. So it's not a function of time t. Now I'm going to redefine the same concepts with respect to the time t. Okay, that we are going to see in the random process here. So CDF also I'm going to define. I'm going to define as a fxt of x. I'm going to define here. Fxt of x I'm going to define. So this is a random process. So similarly, the PDF I'm going to define as a fxt of x. So this will be the random process, the PDF of the random process. So similarly, I'm going to find the mean variance of this random process, which is a function of time t. We are going to find out here. That one we are going to see in the module 3 here. Getting here right? So these two modules I'm going to extend for the module 3. That one you're going to recall the concepts here, and I'm going to redefine in terms of the time t, and we are going to see some parameters you are going to see here. Okay, so that's our concept we are going to see. No need to confuse. Just I'm going to define everything in terms of the time t. I'm going to redefine the concept here, so there is no need of any confusion here. If you're not understanding at any point of time, you can ask me. So don't feel it's difficult and all, right? Okay. Shall we start with this one? Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so take a random process. Take the definition of the random process. First, we'll
Sir,
define
module 2, the other two topics, sir.
There are two topics are there. I'll do that one later. So it's all some time, 5 to 10 minutes it will take here. Just it's defining the PDF and the random variable and drawing the plot of that one. So leave a 2 pages space. Okay. So I'll cover that one later. So today let me start with the module 3. Okay. So take random process. So we are going to define. We are going to assign the real number to the outcome of the experiment, which is a time varying factor. Okay. So you can take a random process is a random process is a time varying function is a time varying function is a time varying function that assigns the outcome of a random experiment, that assigns the outcome of a random experiment to each time instant. So define it as x of t. Okay. So this is we are going to define as a random process, and we are going to define as a x of t here. So the same concept, just I'm redefining in terms of the time t we are defining here. So this is a random process where for the time varying function, we are going to assign a real number to the outcome of the experiment. So that one you are going to call it as a random process you are going to call here, right? For example, assume that I'm going to measure the noise of a signal. The noise of the signal will be varying like this here. So at particular time interval, say t is equal to the something called t1. I'm going to find out. So this parameter I'm going to call it as x of t1. So I'm going to call this as one random process I'm going to call here. Okay. So only difference is just it's a time varying function here. I'm going to define with respect to the time t. For example, assume that I'm talking here. So my voice with respect to time t it's varying here. At particular time interval, if you're going to measure that one, so that one is a random process at that time interval we are going to call here. Got it now? Okay. Now let us just see some of the parameters related to this random process here. So first one you are going to call it as an ensemble here. An ensemble. So ensemble is nothing but it's a general English meaning. It's nothing but a collection of data. It's nothing but we are going to accumulate the data. That one you are going to call it as the ensemble. We are going to call here. Okay, so the ensemble definition is limit. It's a collection of all possible sample functions of a random process x of t. We are going to call that as an ensemble. We are going to call here. Okay, for example, assume that I'm going to measure certain signal. I'll assume I'm going to measure some noise. I'm going to measure here. So this is for the time t. Okay, another signal I'm going to measure. Okay, so this is a function of time t. Another signal I'm going to measure here. So let us assume that at time t is equal to t1. At time t is equal to t1. So we have measured the random process. So this one I'm going to call it as a x of t1. I'm going to call here. So x of t1. So it will be defined in terms of the capital here. And this is x1 of t1. Okay, I'm having different waveforms. So this is the x2 of t1. So since at the time interval t1 we are measuring, so this is the x3 of t1 here. Similarly, I'm going to measure at another time interval, say t is equal to the t2. So this is x1 of t2, okay, x2 of t2, and x3 of t2 here. Okay. So at particular time interval t1, if I'm going to measure all the random process, so this collection of the samples at particular time interval, we are going to call it as an ensemble. We are going to call here. Ensemble general meaning is the thing, but it's a collection of the data. Okay. So this collection I'm going to take at t is equal to t1 for the x1 of t1 and x2 and x3 we are going to take here. So that collection we can call it as an ensemble. We can call here. So take the collection of all possible. The collection of all possible sample functions is an ensemble for x of t is an ensemble for x of t. Okay, so the collection of all possible sample function is an ensemble for x of t. So this collection of data at particular time intervals, we can call it as an ensemble of this one here. Okay, you can take. Let us consider the noise signal. Let us consider the noise signal as shown in the figure below. Let us consider the noise signal as shown in the figure below. So you can take some random noise you can take here. Okay, so at time t is equal to t1, I can call it as x1, x2, and x3 of t1. At time t is equal to t2, we can call it as x1 of t2. Okay, so x2 of t2 and x3 of t2 we can call here. Okay, so taken right. So you can see video clarity is there, right? Clarity is there in the video.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So got it now? Ensemble. So this is the ensemble. Okay, so that is the thing, but you can take the collection of the data. The collection of data. The collection of data at the interval. The collection of the data at the interval. So say t is equal to t1 or t is equal to t2.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me. The collection of the data at interval t is equal to t1 or t is equal to t2. Is called an ensemble. Is called an ensemble. So ensemble is it's an accumulation of the data, a collection of the data we can call here. That's it here, nothing else. No other difference. At only time instance t1 or time instance t2 we are going to take here. That is called as a ensemble we can call here. Ensemble. So done right? Okay. So now I'm going to define. So we are seeing what is the meaning of random process here. The random process is, so we are going to assign a real number to the outcome of the experiment. So that experiment is a time varying function here. So that one you can call it as a random process. And ensemble is the thing, but suppose I'm going to substitute t is equal to t1. The collection of the data at these particular intervals, we can call it as an ensemble we can call here. Now based on this one, I'm going to define the parameters what we have seen in the module 1, that is called as a CD of PD of mean variance, all those things we are going to define here. Let us define the terms for the single random variable, for the two random variables. Simultaneously, I'm going to define these parameters. Let us define here. Okay, so we are going to define those things here. So take the next one, the probability density function. Probability density function. Probability density function. We are going to define the PDF for the random variables we are going to define here. That is the probability density function. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, so I'll take the random process x of t here. The random process x of t I'm going to take here. So I'm going to measure the samples at time t is equal to 0. Time t is equal to 0. Okay, so this one at time t is equal to 0. What are the observations we have made? So that one we can accumulate it in order to get the PDF here. So that PDF we can denote it as like this here, fx of 0. So since early in the module 1, what we are defining for the PDF is fx of x we are going to define, because this is not a function of time t here. Now I'm going to, in this one, I'm going to take the time t is equal to 0, so that the PDF of the corresponding interval I can define as a fx 0 of x for, okay, is greater than equal to 0, because always we know that the PDF value is always greater than or equal to 0 will be there. So for the random process x of t at time t is equal to 0, I'm measuring the PDF I'm going to measure here. So that one we can define as like this here, fx of 0 of x here. So x is the random variable of this one. Okay, so it takes the values always greater than or equal to 0, where x can take the value minus infinity is less than x is less than infinity here. Okay, so we can define the PDF as a time varying function we can define here. Okay, so for example, if you don't want in terms of the time t, we can express as like this here. So it can take the value greater than or equal to 0. So for the where x can take the value minus infinity to the plus infinity here. Okay, so this is how the PDF has been defined. So for the random variables, we define the PDF like this, fx of x. So since the random process, it's a function of time t, I can define the PDF of this one as fx of t. I'm going to define here of x, which is greater than or equal to 0 as per the property of the PDF. We can define like this here. So whatever the functions we are seeing in the module 1, that one I'm going to define as a function of time t. I'm going to define that's it here, nothing else. Okay, so you can take for a random process x of t, the sample functions for a random process x of t, the sample functions obtained from ensemble, ensemble is nothing but it's a collection of data. When t is equal to 0, or assumed to be similar, and the corresponding PDF at t is equal to 0, and the corresponding PDF at t is equal to 0 is defined as, okay, video clarity is there, it's blur. Video clarity is there or it's blur? It's blur. Okay, so just okay, so now I think you can see that one. So fx of, so at time interval t is equal to 0, we can define as a fx 0 of x. It is greater than or equal to 0. This is a property here. So from where x can take the value from minus infinity to the plus infinity. Okay, so this is a PDF which is defined at time t is equal to 0. So getting right? Any confusion? So,
No, sir.
okay, so what we are defining is we are making it as a function of time t. We are defining, that's it here. Where extra thing we are introducing is time t. We are going to introduce, that's it. Nothing else we are introducing. Okay, so you can take similarly the PDF. The PDF exists at any time interval, t is given by, similarly the PDF exists at any time interval t is given by, so you can take fx of t of x is greater or equal to 0. So from minus infinity to the plus infinity. Okay, so this is with respect to the time t, we can define the PDF like this here. So fx of t of x here. So by the definition, by the property of PDF, if it takes a value greater than or equal to 0, it will take here like this. We can define here. Okay, So this is for the single random process we have defined here. So similarly, we can define for the bivariate random process or the two random process we can define here. Okay, you can take. So the bivariate PDF. So this is at time t is equal to t. We have defined here. So next take the bivariate PDF. The bivariate PDF at any point of time. The bivariate PDF at any point of time T1 and T2. T1 and T2 is given by at any point of time T1 and T2 is given by. So the bivariate PDF at any point of time T1 and T2 is given by. So I'm going to define the PDF at the two time intervals you are going to define. So one is a T1 and T2 you are going to define here. Okay, so let us see how we can define the PDF here, bivariate PDF. So I'm going to consider at the time interval T1. So this is fx of T1 and fx of T2. So the corresponding sample values of the random variables are x1 and x2 is greater than or equal to the 0 here. Okay, so this is for the bivariate random process. So you can see here. So before that one, let us see here. So here I'm having the at time t is equal to t1 I'm taking, at time t is equal to t2 I'm going to take here. So this is x of t1, this is x of t2. The same way I'm going to take here. Okay, so for the two time intervals, the bivariate PDF can be defined like this here. Fx of t1, x of t2 for x1 and x2 is greater than or equal to 0. So here, since the two random variables you are considering, so it will take minus infinity is less than. Okay, so x1 comma x2 is less than the plus infinity here. So right. So this is for the two random process at the two time intervals t1 and t2 we can define here. We are defining here. Okay. So similarly, this is for the bivariate random process we are defining here. So similarly, we can define for the multivariate random process here. So you can take the multivariate density function. The multivariate. So multi is the theme. So we are going to consider the different many random variables you are going to consider, random process you are going to consider here. So you can take the multivariate density function. The multivariate density function of order n is given by the multivariate density function of order n is given by the multivariate density function of order n is given by. So you're going to consider the multiple random variables you are going to consider of the order n here. So order n is the theme. The time interval t can take the value t1, t2, t3 up to the n it will take here. So that one we can call it as the order n we are going to call here. So, okay. So so getting the concept right. At time t is equal to t1, t2, t3 up to the n random variables you are going to consider, n time intervals you are going to consider. So that one we can call it as the order n here. So I'm going to define like this here. So it is fx of t1 into x of t2 into x of t3, okay, so on up to the x of tn. So nth order time interval I'm going to consider nth order time interval. Okay, so nth order time interval. So this is the dots are there of x1 comma x2 comma x3 and so on up to the xn can take the value greater than or equal to 0, greater than or equal to 0. So similarly, way minus infinity is less than x1 comma x2 and so on up to the xn is less than the plus infinity. Okay, so you can just you can see. Okay, so any video clarity is there or it's blur? Is it blur?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just you can take after take this one, I just disconnect and I'll connect back. Okay, so you've taken this one, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just I'll just a minute, hold on. I'll disconnect and I'll connect back. Okay, so can you see? So you can see the video clarity is there, right? Or it's still blur. Is it okay? Can you see the video, right?
Yes, sir.
It is okay, and sometimes it is blur, sir.
Sometimes it is blur, yeah, because it's rain. Right? Okay. Okay, so if it is blur, I'll cross verify and I'll hold the sheets like this. Okay. Okay, fine. So, okay, so this is for the PDF of the random process will be defined. So you're taken this equation now. So you're taken this equation. So for the
Yes, sir.
okay. So next, okay. So this is for the multiple random variables we can define here. So similarly, we can define for the two random variables we can define here. So here I am consider only the random process x of t I consider here. The random process x of t we consider here. So similarly, we can define the bivariate random process for the two different random processes. For example, this is one is x of t, other one is a y of t we can consider here. Okay, so y of t we can consider. So let us see that one you are going to call it as a joint random process. You are going to call joint random process. Let us define that one here. So here I have defined in terms of the random process x of t I defined here. I am going to define in terms of the y of t also. Let us define here. Let us see that one. Okay. So consider the two joint random processes. Consider the two joint random process. Two joint random process x of t and y of t. Consider the two random process x of t and y of t, x of t and y of t of order n, x of t and y of t of order n, two random process x of t and y of t are of order n, comma, the corresponding multivariate PDF is given by the corresponding multivariate PDF is given by multivariate PDF is given by the corresponding multivariate PDF is given by. So it will be defined like this here. So it is fx of t1. Okay. So x of t2 and so on up to the x of tn. So this is the nth order multivariate PDF of the random process x of t, and similar for the y of t1, y of t2, and so on up to the y of tn of x1, x2, x3 up to the xn, and similarly we have y1. Okay, so y2 and so on up to the yn can take the value greater than or equal to 0. It will take here greater than or equal to 0. So this is for the random process, multivariate random process, where it contains the two bivariate random process. That one you are going to call it as joint random process. You are going to call here joint random process. Joint random process you are going to call. Okay. Okay. So got it. So you can taken right. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it is fx of t1, x of t2, and tn, y of t1, t2 up to the tn we have taken, and of x1, x2, xn, and y1, y2, yn we have taken here. So here you can take the random process. So x1, x2, and so on up to the xn. Okay, so this is minus infinity is less than x1, x2, xn. Okay, y1, y2 up to the yn is less than the plus infinity here. Less than the plus infinity, it will take like this. So right, so this is for the random process. Done. Okay, so what we have seen so far is we have defined the random process we have defined, that is x of t. We come to know what is the random process x of t here. We come to know what is the random process x of t. Okay, afterwards, okay, so Video clarity is there. It's a blur still.
Yes.
Still it's
Clarity,
blur.
sir.
Blur.
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay. So,
Clear, sir.
pardon me. It's clear, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just a second. Okay. So what we have seen so far is we have seen the what is the random process x of t here, and we have defined the PDF at t is equal to 0. We have defined the PDF at t x of t here, and for the multiple random bivariate random variables, two random process we have defined here, and multivariate random process we have seen, and also for the joint random process we have seen that one here. Okay. So now I'm going to introduce the concept of statistical independences here. So we know the concept of statistical independence. Suppose if the random process x1, x of t1 and x of t2 are statistically independent, so then we can say this joint random process can be taken as a product of the individual random process we can take here. So that one you're going to call it as a independence you are going to call here. So I'm going to introduce that concept I'm going to introduce. Okay, let us take independences. Okay. So this is nothing but the statistical independence. We are going to introduce that concept here. Statistical independence. Done. Okay. So what you are going to see is, suppose if the random process x of t1 and x of t2 are statistical independent here. Suppose if the random process x of t1 and x of t2 it is statistical independent, then we can write this one as a product of the individual PDFs we can write here. So that one you're going to call it as the independence we are going to call here. So let us take one sentence. I'm going to give the mathematical expression. So already you know this concept already we have seen many times in the previous model. So you can take this one. Suppose if the random process x of t1 and x of t2 are statistically independent or statistically independent then bivariate PDF can be written as then the bivariate PDF can be written as, okay, so we can write the bivariate PDF like this here. So just a second. Okay. ಬೇಗ ಬರೋ. My voice is audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
okay. Yeah. So suppose if you are going to consider the x of t1 and x of t2, so these are the random processes which are statistically independent. So then we can write like this here. So what we can write is, so fx of t1, so this is a joint random process we have defined here, x of t2, okay, of x1 comma x2. Okay. So we can write for the statistical independence, we can write as x of t1 of x1 here into fx of t2 of x2 we can define here. Okay, so fx of t1 into x of t2, this is a joint random process, bivariate random process. We can define that as a product of the two random processes. We can define that is for the statistical independent here. If the statistical independent, we can define like this. Okay, so now video clarity is okay, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So done. So because of the network congestion, so we'll not able to get the enough bandwidth. So right, you might have seen olden days how many towers were there. Now how many number of mobile stations, that is the base stations you are going to call. So it has been increasing rapidly now to provide the bandwidth for the everyone. So right, so that's mobile communication. It's really a fantastic world. So fine. So right, fx of t1, x of t2. So this we can write for the two random process we can write here. So similarly, we can extend the concept for the multivariate random process. So I can take, so similarly for the multivariate, similarly for the multivariate n events, so we can define fx of t1. So I'm going to define the n random process we can define here, x of tn of x1 comma x2 comma and so on up to the xn. So this one can be taken as the product of the individual random processes we can take here. So fx of t1 of x1 into fx of t2 of x2, okay, and so on up to the fx of tn of xn, fx of tn of xn. So this one we can call it as a statistical independence we can call here. So for the multivariate random processes. So what are the things we are studying? So these are the foundation for the digital communication, wireless communication, all these topics here. Okay. So based on the random process, because we don't know how the climate is going to vary. So you can see if it is raining season, we cannot able to get the enough bandwidth, right? The signal will not be enough strong, right? Correct now?
Yes, sir.
Right? Yeah, this is why, because
Yes,
the signal will fade itself here. Because so you might have observed in your homes. Okay, so during the rainy season, the doors of all the doors will jam, right? So they will go. It is going to absorb the water and it will become bigger when compared to the normal size, and it is going to jam, right? And during the summer season, okay, so you can see the doors will become so thin. So whatever the water content is there, that is going to evaporate and it will become thinner and you can move the doors easily, right? Similar way, the same thing, the signal will get faded because of this moisture content in the atmosphere and it will be get delayed. So because of that one, the multiple reflections will take place. So that results in the fading of the signal will happen. So there the signal strength will reduce here. Okay, so we can call those things it's a random in nature. We can't expect that one. Okay, so based on that one, we need to design the receiver. We need to give the enough strength for the transmitter to transmit the signal, and in presence of the noise, we should make that the signal will not get deviated. So there is no error will encounter during the transmissions. So all those things will be defined in terms of the random processes. So these are the parameters which will be considered here. So right. So done. We are done with the for the multivariate random process we are considered here. Now for the bivariate multivariate random process I'm going to consider. So I'm going to consider like this here. So two random processes. One is x as a function of x. Other one is a function of y. We are going to consider. So for this one, let us define the statistical independences here. We can take. So similarly, for the random process x of t and y of t. Similarly, for the random process x of t and y of t, the independences are given by So for the random process, which is defined in terms of the x and y, okay, so if they are statistically independent, for that one we can given like this here. So t1, so y of t2, and so on up to the y of tn. So of x1 comma x2 comma and so on up to the xn, y1 comma y2 and so on up to the yn. So this we can write, okay. So this we can write as a product of the individual things we can write here, fx of t1 and so on up to the fx of tn, okay, of x1, x2 and so on up to the xn here. So multiplied with fy of t1, okay, so y of t2 and so on up to the y of tn, okay. So this is y1 comma y2 and so on up to the yn here. So this is what the independences we can define for the two joint random processes here. Multivariate joint random processes we can define like this here. So this is called as a multivariate joint random processes because we are considering the two random processes we are considering. So it is called as a multivariate joint random process we can define like this here. So this is for the statistical independence of that one. So done, right? You taken the expression now. Okay, so now let us define the, we have seen the PDF we have defined here. We have seen the how they are statistical independent we have seen here. Now let us define the expectation of that one here. The expectation of that one is nothing but for the mean and variance. Let us find out the expectations of that one here. So I can take the next topic as expectation. Okay, expectation is nothing but it's a mean of that one, that is expected value of the random process we are going to consider. So you can take the expectation of the expectation of the random process. The expectation of the random process x of t is given by the expectation of the random process x of t is given by. So that is, you are going to call it as a, that is nu of x of t we can call here. So it is nothing but expectation of the x of t we can call here. So you know the formula for the expectation. So it is nothing but, so integral from minus infinity to the plus infinity, the random variable and the corresponding PDF we are going to take, and we are going to integrate that one with respect to the dx here. With respect to the ds, we are going to integrate here. Okay, so nu of xt, it is equal to the expectation of x of t, which is nothing but, so this is the mean of that one, mean of the random process x of t. Okay, so similarly we can define for the variance also, we can define here. So take variance. So whatever we have seen in the module 1, just I am going to define in terms of the x of t. I am defining, rewriting the formula. So just I'm introducing the term called t. We are introducing, nothing else we are doing here. So variance. So variance is nothing but sigma x of t the square, sigma square x of t. So this is a variance here. We can call it as a variance of x of t. So it is equal to the integral. So variance is nothing but, it's a second central moment here. Second central moment is nothing but, it's the difference between the random variable and its mean. Okay, the whole square. So that one you go to call it as a, that one we can call it as a, the second central moment, and it is called as a variance. You are going to call here variance. So this is okay. So it will be multiplied by fx of t of x into dx here. Fx of t of x into dx. So this is called as the variance you are going to get here. So fx of t of x. So this is a variance we'll get. Variance of the random process. So right. So done. So that is the variance. So similarly here, what happens here is the mean and variance. So what are the mean and variance is? It depends on the time t. It depends on the time t here. Okay. So the mean of, since it is time t is equal to 1, if I am going to substitute, this will become the fx of t1 here. And if I am going to substitute time t is equal to t2, so this will become the time t2 you are going to get here. Okay. So that is the mean and variance of the random process x of t. It depends on the time interval t here. For example, if I'm going to define at the multiple different time intervals, the mean is going to be like this here. So based on the different time intervals, we are going to introduce the concept of two concepts. You are going to introduce two types of random process you are going to consider. One is called as a strictly stationary random process. Other one is a wide sense stationary random process. So that one we'll see in the next topics. Let us see here. So time being, just you can note the formula for the mean and the variance here. Okay. So similarly for the two random variables, we can call it as the expectation. Let us take here. Okay. For the two random process, let us take the expectations. So that one you're going to call it as the expectation of the correlation. You're going to call here correlation. Okay, if you're going to consider two bivariate random process, so that is called as a correlation. We are going to call. Let us take for the bivariate random process. For the bivariate random process, the expectation is given by the expectation is given by. So for the bivariate random process, we can define the expectation like this: expected value of x of t1 and x of t2. So this is nothing but integral from minus infinity to plus infinity. You know the expectation of the multiple random variables. So fx1, x2. So of the fx of t1, x of t2, of x1 and x2 into dx1 into dx2. Okay, so this is for the bivariate random process, which is defined at the time interval t1 and t2. We can define like this here. This is for the bivariate random process. We have defined the expectation. Done, right? So here you can note down I'm doing the three things I am doing here. One is for the single random process as a general function of x of t. I am defining the expectation. Next for the bivariate random process I am defining here. Next I will go and define for the joint random process. I am going to define the expectation here. So the same topic I am repeating for the three concepts we are doing here: single, bivariate, and the joint random process here. So single is nothing but it's a function of t only. Bivariate is nothing but it's a function of t1 and t2. We can call it as a bivariate here. So joint is nothing but it's a function of x of t and y of t. We can call it as a joint here. Okay, so those three things we are defining here. So let us define for the joint random process here. So you can take the expectation of the joint random process. The expectation of the joint random process is given by the expectation of the joint random process x of t and y of t is given by. So you can take the expectation of the joint random process x of t and y of t is given by expectation of random process joint y of t and x of t and y of t is given by. So you can take expectation of x of t1, y of t2. Okay, so this is the thing. So double integral. So it is x1, y1, fx of t1, y of t2 of x1, y1 into dx1 into dy1 into dx1 into dy1. Okay, so this is the expectation of the two random variables we are considered. So done. Okay, so next class we are going to see with the stationary random process. Let us see here. So there are two different types of stationaries there. Okay, so let us see those things and we'll introduce some more concepts. Let us introduce the area. Okay, so just I'm going to recall quickly. 1 minute I'll take here. So in the scene we have seen how the PDF and CDF has been defined for the single random variable, multiple random variables in the module 1 here. So I'm going to extend this one for the function, the random variable, which is a function of time t. So that one we can call it as a random process. We are going to call here random process, and we are consider the collection of the random process at particular time interval, say